Vegan Hooper here. I hope you're having a beautiful spring day. Today is a two-parter tutorial for you. Prerequisites for this tutorial will be double linear isolations or cat eyes in opposite direction, and it looks like this. So I do have a tutorial for this that I will post in the description box below if you do not know how to do that trick. So the first part of this tutorial, I will just go over some tips to really get these double linear isolations in opposite directions down nice and clean. And then the second part, we will add the folds and the madness. So I will eventually post a number up so that you could skip to the actual folds if you already do know how to do the double linear isolations. And one last thing, I know that I announced on Instagram a couple months ago that I was pregnant with identical twin baby boys. And I did find out through a sonogram that they passed away, their heart stopped beating. So last Tuesday, 1 week ago today, I was induced and I went through labor and gave birth to Matthew and Paul, who are strong biblical names, but they did pass away. So I just wanted the world to know, because I know I announced that I was pregnant. They were 5 months old, so it's a shame, but you know, God will raise them better than I ever could. But with that being said, if you have a set of twin hoops and you want to learn something new, then let's jump right in. Of course, part one, we're going to go over the double linear isolations in opposite directions. Skip to here if you want to learn how to do the folds, okay? So of course, the linear isolation is the hoop is on your native side, thumb pointing up with an inside grip. You will push the hoop to your opposite side so your arm is stretched out across and your thumb is pointing down, and then you let the hoop roll on your pinky first and you drag your hand all the way back to start. Regrip the hoop with your pointer finger first folding, and then your thumb will be up and you will be back to starting position. Imagine a rectangle in front of you, a box, and when we are doing these double linear isolations, we want them to stay in the box, or imagine a tabletop. We want to keep them nice and clean, so look in a mirror or your reflection or your shadow to keep them nice and clean. So you're going to push and pull, push and pull, and with your non-native hoop on your native side, inside grip, thumb pointing up, you're going to push the hoop like it's on the tabletop until your thumb is pointing down, your arm is stretched out across. Let it roll over your pinky first and drag the hoop back. Fold your hand in until you have an inside grip on your native side back to start. So when we put these together, we can't just, you know, do them without the hoops clanking. One hoop needs to be in front and one hoop needs to be in back, so one hoop passes the other one. So I am going to choose for my right dominant hand to go in front, which means that my hand will be on the bottom when we go to push. So we push at the same time, and of course I have a very small apartment, so you really want your arm stretched out as far as you can go to make the illusion look really cool, to make the trick look dope. But of course I'm, you know, constricted. So we are on our native side, inside grip, thumb pointing up. As we begin to push on this imaginary tabletop, my right hoop is going to go in front and bypass, and of course I said my hand will be on the bottom, okay? And I will keep pushing, pushing, pushing until I can't go any further and my arms are locked or crossed. My thumbs are still pointing down, they're on the opposite side. Now the right hoop that was in front to begin with, I want to be in the back when I drag. So I let the hoop roll on my pinky first, and I'm going to have my right hoop go behind so that they do not clank, and I will regrip with my thumbs pointing up. Like I said, there's a tutorial in the description box, more detailed. But what I really wanted to talk about is something that I discovered besides the clean lines, the straight arms. I always wondered why sometimes the hoops would clank or it wouldn't look as nice. And then I discovered that I was being lazy, and I think half the problem is because I'm in this small apartment that I don't move my body around the way I should. But if you notice, you have your hoops on their native sides, you begin to push, your arms are crossed, and then when you go to drag the hoops, notice where my elbows are. Usually my elbows would be like that, okay? So I'm just staying flat. Well, I noticed if I point my elbows up, okay, so instead of like this, I go up while I am dragging the hoops back to start, it looks so flawless, okay? So I'm gonna show you my lazy way with my elbows straight first, okay? This is what I was doing for life. The hoops would clank sometimes, and of course it doesn't look as clean. Now this will be with the elbows pointed up to the sky. Oops, let's see here. And I'm going a little speedy just to make it nice and, I don't know, just pointing your elbows up and going a little bit faster when you drag the hoop back. You want to be quick because centripetal force. You don't want the hoop to fall. You want it to stay in that imaginary rectangle. So when you go back, make sure that it is a little faster than you pushed if you want, and your elbows, of course, are pointing up. Hopefully that helps somebody out there if you're having problems with these double linear isolations. But let's continue on and add some folds. So like I mentioned in the first part, whatever hoop is in the front, when you go to push, when you pull back, you want that hoop in the back. So my right is in the front and my right is in the back. My right is in the front, my right is in the back, okay? Now I want to begin with the same way, hoops on their native side, thumbs pointing up. I'm going to push nice and straight, letting my dominant hand or whatever hand you choose to go in front. I'm going to go all the way as far as I can go. My elbows are basically crossed. My thumbs are pointing down. I am going to choose a hoop. I'm going to choose my left hoop, which is on my opposite side. My left hoop is on my right side. My thumb is pointing down. I'm going to fold the hoop until my thumb is pointing up, okay? And then when I go to drag the hoops back, okay, I'm going to basically stick my thumb into the hoop. So I am going to push the hoop, my thumb is pointing down, I'm going to fold the hoop, but to get the hoop back, because now I have an outside grip, I need an inside grip, I'm going to stick my thumb into the hoop, let the hoop ride on my thumb while I drag the hoop back, and then I fold my hand into the hoop and regrip with my thumb pointing up. If you're having trouble with that, we fold it, we stick our thumb in. While we are dragging, push your palm down so that you are gripping the hoop. It gives the hoop more control. So rather it just being on my thumb doing whatever, you are actually gripping the hoop between your palm and your thumb, and you can make a clean line from your opposite side back to your dominant side. Stick your hand in by sticking your pinky in first and regrip with your thumb pointing up. So you can decide to fold whatever hoop you want, but just remember that the folds don't mess up the pattern, which means if your right hoop went in front, even if you fold whatever hoop you fold, you want your right hoop to be in back to exit. So if I do my right in front and I decide to fold my right hoop this time, my right hoop is still going to be in back, which means the thumb is going to go in and it's going to drag back. But remember, if you stick your elbows up to the sky while you are dragging the hoops back, it helps with the hoops not clanking and to make a clean exit out of this. So that's basically it, but you can use whatever pattern you want. So you can begin with these beauties, the double linear isolations in opposite directions. You could fold whatever hoop you want, whenever you want. You could do them right next to each other. You could do them both at the same time. But just remember, the most important thing is whatever hoop is in the front to begin will be in the back to end. So just pay attention to that. And that's basically it, guys. These hoops are from Festival Treasures, my wonderful patient sponsors. Check out their Etsy shop. I will link it in the description box below, and use my code VeganHooper for cash off of your next purchase. And of course, follow me on Instagram. My name is Spin Junkie. I'm obsessed with it. I would love to see you there. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I give Skype lessons. Comment below or DM me on Instagram for more details on that. And peace, God bless you, and happy hooping. Mwah. Bye, guys. So I forgot to mention, if the thumb in is still wonky or weird to you, I'll demonstrate by folding both hoops. Thumbs are pointing down, fold both hoops, thumbs are pointing up. I drag them first. Okay, so I'm just holding onto them with an outside grip, nice and tight. And then once they bypass each other, or right when they bypass each other, that's when I stick my thumb in, and I'll finish the drag, and then I'll re-grip. And remember, if you fold your hand down so that you're gripping them nice and tight, that might help you. So maybe just do the thumb at the end if that helps you, just like a quick grip switch or surface switch, rather than completely dragging the hoop with your thumb the whole way.